Good times on everyone. Welcome back to ZSR for some more Zelda 2 Randomizer action stand tournament semifinals game 1 between Slammu and Tabby. I got VT Slacker and Elendar who are going to do the talking. RG is going to do the tracking. And I'm your restreamer, Tom Multack. I'm going to hand it off to the commentators. Comms, all you.
Welcome back, everybody. We got the number 1 seed Big Slammu versus the number 4 seed Tabby Orange in the semifinals of our main tournament.
I am excited. I mean, we're definitely getting down to it, and we'll see if we're following an unusual pattern that's been coming up this tournament. The entire quarterfinals was all of the top 8 seeds in order 1 through 8, and then advancing here to the semis is our 1 and 4 seeds Slammu and Tabby, and then the 2 and 3 seeds Angel FF and Chadvert. So far, at least since the quarterfinals, or coming into the quarterfinals, every top seed has always won. So that would suggest that Slammu has an advantage here, but I don't know how much stake I want to put in that going forward, but it's been a very unusual pattern.
Looks like the runners have been sent off, so we'll see what mess they get into starting off.
We had islands in the previous race, so I'm going to say mountains. Oh, I am wrong. It's a canyon.
And an early glove.
Freest glove known to man.
And we got the bridge up north, looks like goes into DM.
Yeah, I bet we're going to see a pretty immediate turnaround by Tabby. Get out of here. Gonna check a little bit further to see what's here.
Maybe see if we can catch a early hammer cave.
Yeah, looks like all that's available here in DM is pain and suffering. Well, Slammu picks up a free 200 here in a grave. And Tabby, understandably, immediately out of there.
Mirror Town in Mito.
We got a quest item chain going. We'll see if that's worth anything. Here's a hammer for Slammer. All kinds of good stuff early.
Yeah, we did see Death Mountain. Can we get something underneath the rock just to mess with the runners a little bit?
Definitely a good sign. I'm sure what the runners are really hoping for is another way off this continent other than through Death Mountain. Just $50 for the Dairas and a pea bag that is probably stuck. You might be able to clip that one. I don't know. Oh, you can.
Did good.
Slammu gets it quick. Slammu not taking. I mean, I don't know. I'd be tempted to take that cave over to the other side while you were there. See what it is. Because you got to cross the river anyway.
Got a raft in Rudo.
It did look like that was Parappa Cave, and if it is, it's going to be a lot nicer than crossing this bridge. Especially if this is the double bridge. is the Double Ridge. Guarded by a red Dyra. Could be good experience. It is not.
Yeah, let Tumble Talk roll this seed after the Jet one I rolled last seed.
Yeah, we'll see if we get pain or not. It looks like I think that was a P5 and no items there. Boots Town. Boo.
So Big Slammu is using the Dragon Lord sprite.
Yeah, Tabby with a Lizalfo / I believe Geru is the official name. Some of the names for monsters, people have names that they claim are official names, and some of the official sources just don't have names for some of the monsters. Like the manual only has names for like a third of the monsters, and some of the official sources conflict with each other. So names are what we like them to be. I'm just upset that we're basically getting every important item immediately again. Okay, so this is linked fire that you need a mirror for, that you need medicine for. So probably not going to be picked up as we find jump here.
Do you go back and get downstab now, or do you go looking for that medicine?
I think you just get downstab now and just commit to not getting fire. I mean, linked fire is nice. It was fire thunder in the last seed. That's really nice, but if you have to go through a whole quest to go get it, it's problematic.
But the runners are pretty much neck and neck right now at the start. There is the cross. That would be helpful.
That could be better.
Could be better, but will be helpful in the east.
What would be especially nice right now that I hope the runners don't find would be a candle, because it's increasingly looking like we're going to have to go through that DM here. And having a candle in DM just feels like cheating in this flag set. The one place where candle really comes in handy. I mean, this is the semifinals, right? We gotta risk some pain on our runners. They gotta work for making the finals. Still just a best of 3 here, but the winner will be going on to a best of 5 in the finals as Slammu finds an entrance to the maze. Doesn't involve going through Death Mountain.
2 item 3 or 6 on the maze.
Have you seen what our red iron knuckles are worth? Answer a pea bag. 100 points for that one, but doesn't tell us what they're worth going forward.
Haven't seen anything spicy in the drop pool yet.
Patrick noting that Tabby did go far enough in to see that that was an up entrance, and because the P6 up entrance is currently bugged, we do know that that is definitely a P3 on the maze. Has been fixed already for the new version, but no changes are going to be made to this current version that our runners are running until after the tournament. So please look forward to bug fixes and improvements shipping right after we finish up.
Unless we find something game-breaking, but...
Yeah, we did. There's one patch that was done in the tournament because of a bug that could cause incompletable seeds. Did not affect any actual runs in the tournament, but those are the sorts of things that will get patched early just to make sure that they don't happen. Tabby finds a trophy. That's good for our raft. There's a raft off of this maze, so 50-50 chance that's going to be our way to the east. Slammu wisely picking up a down stab before heading off. Tabby gonna grab the second item here in the maze, and then probably we're gonna see an up A, down stab, raft, polish off the rest of the west, and then come back for this tile.
Yeah, the other item is the medicine.
Okay. I mean, if there was any time to find medicine, this is it. Tabby can make the decision about whether he wants to go get fire or not.
Tabby still has to pick it up. We only know that because of the hint Slammu just got.
So we're finding the last item in the west going to be here. I think it's the last item. Yeah, just a heart container. So yeah, 50-50 chance that we need to either get a raft and raft our way to the east, or the other 50% of the time, it's going to be in DM. And not only will it be in DM, if it is in DM, it's a cave in DM, which is the worst.
So we got the other two palace in the west of P6 and P4. P6 having 3 items in it.
Tabby finally, basically full clearing this maze, finds that medicine, and as expected, gonna up A out and clear some towns. So Tabby's decision not to get down stab until doing the maze is going to pay off. I think at this point you definitely probably just take a little bit of time out to get fire.
I would think so this early, and possibly linked to one of 3 spells that would really help out. Could be any of those 3 kind of required spells.
Yeah, any of the 3 required spells would be fantastic. Something like Life Spell would be worth your time, but not great. And then really starts to fall off if it becomes Shield or especially Jump. Jump would be the worst possible option just because they have it. Like, if you have Reflect Spell and then you get Fire Reflect, you're like, okay, that makes Reflect a little cheaper. That's fine, I guess. If you have Jump already or Shield and you get Fire, then it's just like, cool. But like at least Fire Shield, you get. It probably doesn't make it cheaper, but it helps, Shield give you a little bit of extra safety. You get some fire beams for cool stuff. Nobody wants to have a Jump when they cast fire. And now Slammu doing the maze in the opposite order here. He almost certainly isn't going to get fire. I suspect he's going to find the first item in here, get his trophy, and then up A and not get the medicine because he already went and get down stab at this point. Depends on what order he goes through. I think this path he's on is going to lead him to medicine or trophy first.
What if he kept going to that corner?
And no easy items here in the maze. You're going to have to go through some crap.
I think Tabby has picked up all the item locations here on the west. I think it's time to turn in that trophy and medicine.
Yeah, trophy definitely going to get turned in. Medicine probably going to get turned in. I would suspect it will. but it does involve an extra trip to go turn a mirror in. Barbara's got Bagu's letter. Yawn. Slammu does find the medicine first. So, unfortunately for him, not trophy first. Gonna basically spend about the same amount of time here that Tabby did. And then turns around and goes back. He wants to be responsible and check the end of this loop. I understand, but... Only a couple of extra tiles it could have been in, though, but worth checking them.
So yeah, slight lead for Tabby just with the routing.
Yeah, if Tabby does go and get fire, Tabby will be a little bit behind, but with fire. Whether that's worth it or not, gotta really depend on what fire's linked to. I like it. I think this is a good decision, but I also like Slammu's decision of if you did already get down stab, probably it's not worth going for. And then we're going to see where this raft takes us. I'm hoping DM.
Oh, get that fire spell.
Magic 1 probably not going to be enough for a fire check, though. Tabby's going to need to...
I saw 105 pretty quickly popped up.
Yeah, fire really expensive at early levels, very cheap at later levels, so good excuse to pick up some magic. And oh, Tabby is going to do some more DM checks before checking that raft. An interesting decision. Slammu going the other way. He is going to raft first, and we're going to see. Is this the right play? Answer, yes, this takes us east. DM is a big loser. Tabby not going to actually commit, just doing some surface level checks. See if the way is going to be sort of just on the coast here.
There's a rock.
Does get a rock, okay. Rock could be good. Death Mountain holds the blue jar. There's the blue jar. Simultaneous knowledge for both our runners about the nature of that rock.
Barbara also has the water.
Not going to be very good. So we've got a decent amount of item knowledge at this point. 1 is good. 5's got a bad item. 6 also has a bad item.
Actually, has 2 bad items.
Oh, do we know 2 bad?
Water and Bagu's letter.
Oh, right, the water and wow. That is some crappy palaces. I mean, if there's any configuration, that's what you want, right? You want good items in 1, bad items in 5 and 6, so you can just ignore them.
Tabby now in the east behind Slammu, just as we said.
Yep, that extra check in DM not paying off. Still haven't seen a fire check, though. Need to get some magic first. That container, is that enough? That's, math is hard.
And denied by Granny.
It's like 112 at 6 bars, is that it?
At 6 bars, it's 96.
Oh, it's 96. Yeah. 112 is 7. So still not a castable fire. And Tabby's setting up for the attack and life combined power leveling strategy. But I think if you have linked fire early, you probably want to invest at least a little bit in magic, enough that you can see what it is. Right now, Tabby basically just avoiding all combat. It looks like Tabby's going to do the thing that I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see from Patrick in the first place, which is check the coast. When you've got boots, check your coasts. There could be stuff hiding, and there indeed is. Although, we're going to need to make our way past Larry to find out what. Oh, it's Patrick Slammu. Patrick not appearing in this race. Patrick was in fact eliminated by Tabby Orange in a previous round. Tabby took out Patrick and the Goblin on the way here, in addition to a round 1 bye. So some big names getting taken down. Slammu making his way through, also a round 1 bye, as well as wins over Shetty and Jake Hoper. Yeah, Patrick just chilling out in chat, of course. Slammu gave it 1 shot on doing the super jump and said, nah, forget it. I'm just going around. Understandable.
First item here on the east was just a heart container.
Yeah, we still need all 3 of our required spells. We know Thunder's going to be hanging out in 1. Do not know anything about the other 2. And we're rapidly running out of non-palace locations.
I was just about to ask about that.
What's weird is that we've checked most of the non-palace locations, but we also have information about a lot of the palace locations being bad. 3 and 4 are looking pretty nice at this point, in that they have 2 items and we don't know what's there.
Well, we've got 2 of the item locations showing up now. Slammu found a way around Larry and found the water tile. Tabby's in Sunken Peaback Cave. And there's palace access.
Alright. So that's gonna get us into palaces, and I suspect we're gonna see those palaces pretty soon.
And Tabby did a fire check. I did not see what it was. Or at least it looked like it, or that might have been an enemy throwing fire.
No, Tabby still doesn't have enough magic to cast fire, right? Still at magic 1. Slammu might just do Valley of Death here. It's a little bit of a gamble because you don't know where Reflect is, but like if you're going to up A back to the west anyway and do some palaces, you might as well check this.
Well, P4 is in the west.
Oh, P4 is in the west, okay. Yeah, and Fairy is 46, so Magic 3 going to be good enough for 2 casts. Oh, wow. An extra connector to Death Mountain Tabby found not particularly useful.
But did find Reflect.
Alright, that's piece number 2 to the puzzle. And piece number 3 we know about. It's just in P1. Speaking of P1, here it is.
I think that was the reason for the trip into the valley.
Yeah. Might as well. I mean, you don't need Thunder Spell early, but it's nice. And if you're right next to here, why not? Ooh, 500 bag from the small enemies. You're saying earlier about us not seeing anything great from the small enemies yet. There we go. I'm curious how common it is in the drop pool.
Because normally it loops between 4 drops, correct?
So the way that it works is every item has there's 8 slots in the drop list, and then every item has a 25% chance to be in the drop pool, and then every item that's in the drop pool appears at least once in the 8 item list, and then the remaining slots are just filled up randomly. So it could be that the list, is like key, blue jar, red jar, and then 5 500 bags in a row. We do pretty much all races are played with the standardized drops flag on, and so the order of those drops in sequence is the same for both runners. But you can have it be random if you want, but just for making sure that the runners get as even an experience as possible, we do always have standardized drops on. And yeah, you see that's probably the 500 bag there for Tabby at about the same time.
First gem on the board goes to Big Slammu.
Yeah, and we're going to see, I was going to say either an about face or a leave palace and immediately return, because absolutely zero chance he's leaving here without that Thunder Spell. And with him not having Reflect either, I bet both items are going to be done here, even if he finds Thunder first. Meanwhile, Tabby, doing a little bit more overworld checking, is going to have some amount of advantage because Tabby's more or less got all of the pieces of the puzzle put together, just needs to go execute.
Not very helpful candle.
No, if we had to go through DM, it would have been real useful. If you have to go through the valley without fairy, candle can be really useful. And if you get it right away, it can be useful in the west, but all of those scenarios are behind us at this point. We've got plenty of casts of fairy to get through the valley for Tabby, now up to Magic 3. I haven't seen a fire check. Tabby might have checked fire, and I just missed it. But I am still a little curious what it is. Ooh, hard container town. And the first item for Slammu.
Oh, this would be the second. The first one was the candle.
Oh, they have the candle. Sorry, I missed it. Well, this is
So
definitely
this-
thunder. Hey, look, it's thunder. Yep, and as expected, 0% chance Slammu was going to walk out of that Valley of Death. Just a quick up A, and we'll see some Western Palaces. Yeah, kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle. Well, there is an actual Ninja Turtle sprite that's available.
Yes,
haven't seen
I
anyone
made that
use it in a
sprite.
while.
Yeah, I made that sprite. But the Ninja Turtle sprite. But yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was my Ninja Turtle sprite. But nope, you just made it Lizalfos very
Uses
green.
the same color, but yeah. Everyone sort of has their preferred sprite they like to run with.
I think both of us are on the Black Mage Snuggie gang.
Yeah, Black Mage are a pretty popular one. Let's see Tabby on the super jump. 1 miss. 2 misses. 3 look good, maybe a little late. 4, there we go. So 4 pretty much right on the border of where it's about the same amount of time as going around. It's 3 or 4 depending on how quick your attempts are. So pretty reasonable set of super jumps. Slammu stabbing away on this Rebo's head. Man, he is tanky.
Yeah, Reflectors and Old Kasuto.
Stab, 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 stab. So good setup on Slammu, getting it back in the corner. And it's going to be 2 gems ahead. Slammu is going to suffer a little bit being forced to double dip the east, but it wasn't that bad.
It'll be the fairy spell for Tabby.
Yeah, Tabby also going to be in Palaces in just a second here. Yeah, Slammu actually going back to east immediately. He realizes Reflect's got to be somewhere, and he does not want a 2 Death Mountain. He's going to do everything he can to avoid doing Death Mountain. So Slammu probably has a pretty decent lead here. I mean, Tabby has some extra exploration, but I can't imagine it's going to take Slammu more than 2 palaces worth of time to go find Reflect.
I don't know if did Tabby get the hint for Thunder? 'Cause I know Slammu did.
I don't know. I mean, I imagine if Tabby finds P1, he's just going to get both items immediately anyway. But Tabby might be a little discouraged to go into the Valley of Death, but it is like right here.
Don't think there's many other places they could go except for other palaces.
Yeah, well, I mean, other palaces are, at this point, decently likely, but Tabby knows this is going to be P1, and it's just a good thing to do.
All right, Chad Burton Chad saying Tabby did get the
Tabby did get the 100. Okay, so yeah, unsurprising. Also making a straight trip to P1, get this done first. And then since Tabby has Reflect first, can go back, clear the west, do the maze on a quick little side trip, and then redo the rest of the east, sort of whatever order he wants to. The bad news is Slammu has already done all of those things, all of the important things. It is now solidly in go mode. Nope, Larry is not blocking anything this seed. Three-Eyed Rock is junk, and the actual River Devil, Larry is hanging out all the way in the northwest. It looked like he might be required to get through, but you can get around to get to the water tile.
So, doing the job a little bit.
Yeah, it would be a significant time save if you could get through him. So he is mildly inconvenienced, which is a lot better than he could say for some seeds.
I don't know how many seeds we've seen where he's sitting on a bridge just to have the runners go right by him walking on water.
Yeah, I mean, he tries his best. It is even chance random as to whether he's blocking a path, a town, or a cave. And the path blocking sort of the least likely to be relevant.
I'm a huge fan of Larryville, though.
Tabby wisely taking a death before killing the horse. You definitely do not want to kill the boss and then realize you don't have enough for fairy and you have to go find something to die on and it takes forever and you just lose a ton of time. Instead, just going to be a quick, relatively quick. This attack 4 seems awful, but horse head's down either way.
First gem for Tabby.
And then 500 for Slammu. Not likely to be relevant, but sort of borderline at this point. Depends how long this palace is.
Is the candle for Tabby, just following the exact same route that Slammu went through.
Slammu finally finds a drop, but still basically just a fully linear path here in this palace. Oh, Slammu, no, that's... Oh, he wanted to turn around and get the 50. I was gonna say, I was hoping he recognized this room. Invisible walls, we call them invisible walls, invisible paths, right? Paths, the walls that can be walked through. Not, now that we're in brackets, do not have the option to make them visible, and so you do have to remember the vanilla rooms that have them. I like this fairy here. Like, it's a little bit of a detour, but like this is the cost of grabbing that fairy. You get annoyed and spend some time going through blocks. It's not a free fairy by any means.
Pick up the extra magic jar just in case.
Yeah, also it's a refill. Make sure you have enough for reflect. And of course, we've got a bunch of drop item room linked together. Definitely a property of this current version of the rando that has been fixed for the future. Alright, this is going to be the boss. Yeah.
Nope. Slammu just picked up the any key, so... Don't know what's in Grandma's basement, and I don't think we care.
Yeah, we'll not be revisiting there. At this point, Slammu only going to pick up items if they are on the way, and even then, maybe not.
And do you see what I see? That was Slammu throwing fireballs.
Yes, that is a fire reflect. So...
Well, he's got shield on as well, so I don't know which of the two it is.
Oh, it should be shield. Fire shield is nicer than you'd think. Yeah, it's not going to really save you on cost. I'm a big fan of fire shield because it's going to make it so you... How'd Repo get into the floor? A question from chat. Repo is extremely buggy. It's just a vanilla property of Repo. Depending on how you hit him, over time he either floats down into the floor or up above the ground.
And a short P6.
An extremely strong horse, a slightly rolled up knight on the Rebo. The horse and Remonak himself roll their health independently. So they are both plus or minus up to 50% of their health. But you don't get to see the horse's health in a reasonable way because the health bars reflect the knight. Slammu gets 1,000, but doesn't care. Curious if he's going to start burning gems at any point, but probably not. Another magic level wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it at 555.
I mean, I think Slammu could definitely get away with it. If he did, I wouldn't be like shocked if he did it, but understandably wants to take a little bit more. He's got 2 more to go, so probably like a 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, 666 or 567, depending on that attack and life level.
Either of those pretty comfortable for most runners. Tabby is going to spend the time to check this item room. Gets a flute and saves out. Not really sure what Tabby's looking for. I think you just want to be. I think Tabby needs to be doing what Slammu's doing, which is put foot on gas, kill bosses.
Yeah, didn't see anything flute blocked. Unless, did we actually see P2?
I think we did.
I'm trying to think if we saw both palaces outside of the valley. I know we saw one of them because one of them was sitting right outside the valley.
If we didn't see P2, that could be problematic for Slammu if it turns out it's on a 3-head rock, but... Did we see... I thought we saw one. Did Tabby check on the 3-head rock?
No, because he just got the flute.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not behind Larry, but the flute will help at least to get behind, to speed up pathing a little bit in the east. I don't know. That's actually a good question.
I would assume...
I think we've seen 2.
And just going how... hello, jump block?
Hello, jump block, indeed. In fact, the Bold Runners had jump since the beginning, but it's the slightly unusual jump block room.
But I would assume just how Slammu is running this, he knows where all the palaces are.
Yeah, Tabby definitely hasn't found P2. Tabby uses a pretty simple tracking system, but one of the things Tabby does track is immediately making sure to mark down how many items were in a palace. And Tabby does not have P2 as found. One of the jumping block rooms for Slammu. Is still wild to me that that's a vanilla behavior.
Just doing a decent job of playing hide and seek.
Where do we get a jet palace and then a long palace and then back and forth? Because P6 was nothing. Tabby going to be done with 4 in just a second here. He's on the correct route.
Fortunately, on the Iron Knuckle side of the 50-50.
I guess this 4 was like mostly linear, so the correct route is a bit meaningless, but just a couple more drops left.
Pick up the same magic jar and any key that Slammu picked up.
Yeah, the jar is especially nice because Tabby did not have enough for Reflect, and now it does. Meanwhile, Slammu getting the runaround.
And it was Fire Reflect.
Okay. Slammu realizes that path is all just a big loop. And he's going to go back to holding left.
All this time in P5, look who's caught up.
Yeah. I mean, Slammu was 2 palaces ahead, but one of them was 6, and that wasn't much of a palace. And still, I would give Slammu an advantage in that he's got several minutes of extra exploration of this P5. If it turns out that, you know, Tabby just, like, right routes this P5, it could be enough to even it up. We'll see, though. This is a nasty P5.
Doing a great job of avoiding shiny keys.
Everyone gets the any key and then immediately picks up the first key they see. It just happens. Oh, into the lava. Tabby wisely just casting Fairy and Slammu after checking pretty much every path of this 5. He's finally found Guma. Tag 5 looks like it's doing work, and you know what else is doing good work? Life 6. Withstanding quite a number of maces, but they were only really hitting for about 1 container of damage.
Yeah, that is pretty low for a Guma shot. It looks like Tabby is following the same path, going through that jump block, which we know is not the correct way.
Yeah, but it is the way that you are just naturally going to check. I'm unsurprised that this is what Tabby's doing first. Dragon Lord has rafted his dragon back to the east. We're going to see where P2 is. If it is under 3-Eyed Rock, then all of a sudden Tabby's probably in the lead.
Well, chat was saying it's behind Larry, which obviously they have a path around.
Okay. Say neither runner has anything about P2 marked on their tracker. That doesn't mean they didn't see it.
Oh, okay, they're saying GP was behind. Well, like I said, they've seen a palace. I know there's one outside of the valley. And Slammu's checking item locations.
Oh no. You may think it's flute blocked, and this is not where the flute is.
So that's why Tabby might have been looking in P3 for an item. We were wondering what he was up to. He was looking for the flute. Slammu has both items in DM still available. We know one of them already. And both items in our 2 locations in New Kasuto.
Yeah, I can see him checking New Kasuto while he's here. I think Slammu would definitely check P3 before checking DM.
Well, he doesn't have the spell, so he can't check the tower.
Big question is going to be, how long does it take Tabby to do this P5? It took Slammu about as long as it could possibly take. It's starting to look like it's going to be that way for Tabby too, but could be an opportunity to speed up. Slammu is going to check the first and only New Kasuto location that he can check. And it's garbage. An up A from Slammu, and I am wrong. It's Death Mountain. This could be bad.
Well, Spec Rock was visible from the coast, but we never saw Hammer Cave.
Spec Rock's going to be easy, and if he's just doing Spec Rock and leave, this is fine. Hammer Cave could be a big time loss.
There's the blue jar he was hinted about earlier.
Yeah, he knew one of the items was a blue jar. Did not know about the other. Unfortunately, does not find out it's in the good configuration. Yeah, so he is going to look through Death Mountain, see if he can find that Hammer Cave, and this is going to be a couple minutes at least of time loss, assuming he finds it quickly.
Don't see any caves sticking out just yet.
Not so far. I'm trying to count, but it's tricky when you're going quick. And further bad news for Slammer. Here's Tabby on Guma.
Tabby going a little bit safer now, since Tabby does not have the life spell either.
Makes it through though, no deaths.
Yes, life is in Darunia.
Our runners will not be picking that up, and man, Slammu was just bleeding time here. Could be, sometimes you get into a a Death Mountain and Hammer Cave is pretty easy to find. You find it right away. Here, absolutely not the case. And Tabby's going. If it isn't a 3-out rock, this is not only a lead for Tabby, but a big one. Okay, Slammu found Hammer Cave. So the time bleeding is going to stop. But...
and it is under 3-out rock.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's already lost a lot here.
Slammu is shaking his head. I think he knows he's behind, especially once he's going to see this item is not the flute.
Oh, that's the worst item it could have been.
Yep, that's going to
It's not only not the flute, it's going to send him somewhere else.
Yep. Tabby has found Helmet Head already.
Yeah, P2 is a quick one, and he's going to be a GP in just a second. And Slammu is starting to do a bad sign for runners. You can see him looking over at the race room. He knows this one could have been fast. His opponent could be winning at any moment. It wasn't a complete jet seed, but it wasn't a slow one. And we're going to see Tabby into GP in just a second here. Going to go up the coast. Going to go say thanks to Larry for info about the flute. And Larry kindly letting Tabby proceed on to GP. Really curious if this was actually faster than the other way Tabby could have gone. Probably.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about encounters going over the water, so
Yeah.
that might have helped out some.
All right, gate up 5630. And I mean, I don't think Slave is wrong. I don't dislike the checks that he's doing here. It's just they are not paying off, and he gets that kid a nose. That's a bad sign. He has checked everything else now. The flute has to be in one of the palaces he was in and left it behind, and you never want to see that.
He's going into to P6 because he still has one item there.
Yeah, he checked a decent amount of 6, so probably it's just to the left here.
Because he already found the letter and the water. He has those marked off. But the third item was the one they didn't have a hint on.
Meanwhile, Tabby is in GP and immediately greeted by the traditional Ganon's welcoming party. It's a bunch of birds. Yeah, so good news for Slammu is that this last item was quick. Go in, go left. Was there another item he didn't get here? He had on his tracker there was only one left, but...
Yeah, and he should know... Was that the... Yeah, he should know that the letter and the water were the other two in that 6. Of course, he might have forgotten. So the only thing he has left on the tracker is the item in P3.
And that's rough. Just hard last locationing a required item. Tabby not interested in going down the elevator, gonna go right. It's a bit of a toss-up in that situation. Right is faster to the next exit, but there is, especially in GP, a bit of a bias towards wanting to be in lower rooms rather than higher ones, just because drops are so good. Hard to say. Ended up paying off here.
Yeah, then you kind of start trying to do the math for it. Well, if I stay up high, maybe I'll run into one of those drops, and then I know I'm going the right way.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's not a straightforward one thing is always right. It's kind of based on what you've seen in the rest of the palace, kind of based on where walls are, because you've already passed by the palace and the area, and part of it's just vibes. What you like doing, what your style is, how you're feeling about the race. Tabby probably got to be feeling at least decent about his chances at this point. With an absolutely beautiful Thunderbird, as Slammu has picked up a flute. So Tabby can now forget about all of that nonsense before. Path to Darklink going to be somewhere on this route, which is so far just hold right. But of course, we immediately get a fork, and a fork, and a fork. This is what Slammu needs. Lefts to gamble on.
Yeah, but I think just that shortly after Thunderbird, you go right. You need some room away from him.
Yeah. The left's unlikely to lead down. They could very easily lead up to Darklink.
Yeah, I've seen some palaces where it almost looks like it snakes around.
I would definitely be considering taking the highest left, the highest right, or the lowest right. So, like, if I were Tabby here, I would be strongly considering that room, like, all the way at the bottom of that elevator and right. Although it does lead to a waffle, right? Like, there's some argument of, if you can avoid doing waffle rooms, avoid them. And so far, it looks like all of those down routes sort of just are loops that lead back up. This just hold right seems to be good, and it is. The actual strategy is GP. Hold right. Disregard everything else. You see an elevator, go up it, and then keep holding right. And yeah, really quick time going to be for Tabby, probably slightly over 102, depending, maybe a sub 102. Yeah, and nice and clean, 101.54 the official time. GG's in chat for Tabby Orange winning game 1 of this best of 3.
See if Tabby wants to come in for an interview.
Slammu is also immediately thrown in the towel. He knows what's up.
Yeah, you last location an item like that, it's normally curtains.
And it was, in fact. If you last location an item and it's in, like, Hammer Cave, there's a pretty good chance your opponent also last locationed it, and so maybe you're not that far behind. When it's just in a palace and you just gambled on it not being there, that's when you really feel like you're done for.
Alright, we got word Tabby will be in here shortly, and I see Slammu in the waiting room. Welcome in, Big Slammu.
Hey, thank you. Sorry about the performance today, jeez.
We got a Tabby as well. GG's to both of you. That was It was a really close one until, unfortunately, as you can expect, Tabby found the flute the first time in 3. You did not, and that was it.
GG's. GG's, Tabby. Yeah, I knew as soon as I'm sitting there, just checking off every last check in the game, that it was done for. There's no margin for error in this game anymore with the people at the level that they are, and a full clear is not going to get there.
Yeah. I was like pretty sure that I had cleared the east pretty well, but there's always a chance that 2 is just sitting there, but you missed it. But I'm pretty sure it's flute blocked. So I kind of determined that when I'm going in and digging out items until I find the flute. But for me, luckily, I did 1 first, right in the valley there, and then 3 was my next dungeon. So it was gonna be the smallest, and then if I didn't find the flute in 3, I'm not sure what I would have done, but I kind of lucked out because I spent time after Rebel looking for that item.
Yes, Slammu had a decent lead to begin with. It's up about 2 palaces at one point. But then, of course, just changed once we figured out, because we were in the comms booth wondering, did we see P2? That's where we had figured out maybe it is flute blocked. But how Slammu was going, it seemed like you knew where it was at, or were you just going, I'm just gonna go, and if it's flute blocked, then oh well.
Yeah, with the number of items sitting in palaces, it was kind of a crapshoot. So I just figured there's no point in pigeonholing into one spot. I'm just gonna go until I get blocked, and 2 items in 4, right? 3 items in 6, even though 2 of them were junk. It's just like there was so many items everywhere that there was a lot of junk items in the pool, so I didn't want to gamble on a single dungeon, especially having not done any of New Kasuto.
Yeah, and we were saying in the comments booth that there wasn't anything with what you were doing. It's just rando's gonna rando sometimes.
Yeah, if we had a Death Mountain blocked spell to get flute, different result, but it's not what it was today. So
Yeah, when you finally got in the Hamburg Cave, we saw it was spell. I was like, oh no, that's the worst item it can possibly be for Slammu. But it's okay. There's always hopefully 2 more games. So
Do we have game 2 scheduled, or?
no, we gotta figure that out still.
Yeah,
hoping to get him in before daylight savings time, so I don't ruin Tabby's sleep schedule here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Probably later this week. Yeah.
Great. I think we can hand it back over to our restreamer to close us out.
Sounds good to me. Thank you guys for a great race. That was a fun watch. Elendar, VT, thank you for coming. RG, thank you for tracking. Chad, thanks for coming out to watch. Send us over the honors and get us out of here. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.